Um, I mean, I, it's a big ship. I wouldn't really worry about it too much. I mean, what's the
Hopefully
worst
it
that could
stays on
happen?
its side. That says, don't jinx it.
Yeah.
I have a good feeling about this.
Yeah, exactly. The I have a good / bad feelings about this go around the crew for sure.
Other than my initial saying like I'm down to do whatever, but I really need to figure this out first, I have not participated in any of the banter since then.
Yeah, and I think that it's during the banter that we cut over to Jax. So Jax, you are you're searching this particular ship.
Yeah.
Now, where do you start?
I want to go up to the cockpit and see if there is the kind of Star Wars version of like a flight computer.
Yeah, absolutely.
To see if I can figure out if I can work it at all whatsoever.
Yeah, so you've already made your.
So this was the fire spray.
Yeah.
Yeah, the unknown ship. Yes. So yeah, you're inside the cockpit, and you've already done your skullduggery. You know how to like access the systems here. But I think that I am going to make you roll an easy computers check just to decipher through all the information. What are you looking for specifically? Just like the fate of this ship's crew, or what?
Okay. Seeing that there's computer information I have to decipher through, before doing that, I just want to check through like the hold and anything. I want to figure out what happened to this ship's crew.
Okay.
So
how do you want to do that? What
do
you think that is the best option for you as a character?
So I see the computers, I activate them. I see that the computers are gonna take some know-how, and that's not my strength. So I'm gonna go down to the hold to see if I can find any data pads, any tools, anything that could give me any kind of clues, or also I'm thinking to myself anything that I can bring back that can show that I found this thing. I'm just trying to.
Yeah. So you want to do just like a basic perception check, just like a look around the cargo hold and the ship?
I have no interest in making that check again, but I will.
Well, I mean, like that's what I'm asking you. I'm asking you like what type of check do you think?
I'll do a perception check to see.
Okay.
If I see anything in the hold that kind of means anything to me, or that would be useful.
All right, it's going to be easy because it's not that hard to like just go through stuff. You have plenty of time to do it. Yeah. I am going to add a black dice though because you do have to kind of like maneuver around the insides of the ship, and it's been sitting here for a ton of years. So.
Yep. Cool. Black dice can't get to spare, right? Because that's
correct. That's only the.
All right, then let's do it. Are you ready?
Yeah. Beautiful.
Oh.
So you can reduce the strain with that if you'd like.
Yeah, sure, I will.
So I think that you go kind of fumbling around, and when you get into the cargo hold, you move some things to the side, and you're looking for compads or tools or whatever you said before, and you run across a couple of crates that have been like loaded and sealed, and so you find like a crowbar or whatever, and you just pop them open. And inside you can see there is like salvaged ship parts that very clearly, just based on looking at them and having walked to the ship, you can tell are from the ship itself. In addition to that, I think that on the there's like a manifest inside of each crate of like what it contains, and you begin to you go through the manifests. And you confirm your suspicions that whoever was utilizing this ship is indeed from Arcanus.
Cool.
In addition to that, I think that you find through these manifests that there isn't. This isn't what Arcanus does. This isn't how Arcanus kind of operates. They don't go on salvaging missions. So that's a little strange in and of itself. So you're not really sure why the ship was particularly doing this. Maybe it was a joy outing, right? Maybe somebody was just like, hey, we found this cool thing. So you're not really certain on that in particular. And I think that you get a name. that will be, obviously useful to you later on.
Cool.
And I think that it is. Boop. So, Fullest Bequin references. Go ahead. I would say it references an Aqualish, which is the guys with like the kind of bug-like
Butt
faces. Yeah. Not Rhodians, but the other ones. The butt faces. Yeah, that's a good way to put it, actually. They're the guys with the butt faces. And I think that you recognize this as a former, like, leader of the syndicate. He's probably not still alive now, and if he is, he's probably like really old. Because again, this was quite a bit ago. But he's former. He's not involved with the syndicate any longer.
Cool.
But I think that as you continue searching, you do end up finding like a log, and it's probably a short like message exchange between Bequin and Mac.
Okay.
And I think that we hear the Destiny song playing in the background. It references a job. But again, it's in very vague wording. Like, it's like, we need to meet. About what? About a job I need to do. Okay. So Mac and Bequin knew each other. So maybe finding this Fullest Bequin can lead you some more information.
Can I calm Mouse and ask her if she can come help me with something?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
So I say, hey Mouse, can you come meet me at this fire spray boat? I just want to see if you can help me with something.
Yeah, I guess. I'm kind of busy, but I'll come over. Sure.
Thanks.
Wait, this is Jax, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, are you alone?
Yes.
Oh, I'll find Ken and I'll come over.
Perfect.
Great. So I think that I want to go back over to Dash for a second. So Dash, you've been exploring the this ship here, right?
Yes, I have been exploring
the
Gimsor free light.
Yeah,
I was looking for schematics, but I only found for 2, and I'm guessing that's a different model.
Yeah, they're either different models or ones you just don't recognize right off the bat.
Okay.
But what specifically you're looking for on this particular ship? What is it that you want to know about it? What is it that you want to investigate about it, et cetera, et cetera?
Well, the thing is, first I want to get in and somehow.
Yeah. So I think that it doesn't have like a locking system on it. I think you just like walk up and hit the button, and the ramp just descends to you.
Sorry, which one of them is that? Is it the brown one or the white one?
The Gimsor right here.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so I'm want to go inside and look around its interior, specifically like I don't know, stuff that a pilot will look at, basically, or a mechanic.
Yeah, so like you want to go check out the hyperdrive and
yes.
Like the in-system engines and
or
see if the console
like
is working.
Yeah, and something that will probably tip me off to maybe a previous owner or something that has been left here to like stay, like maybe cargo or is just a empty vintage ship that was just a collector's item.
Yeah, and I think that you immediately, you don't even need to make a check for it. You immediately realize that like the cargo hold is empty.
Okay.
But as you go back through, as people do with their collectibles and vintage items, the ship has stood the test of time pretty well. You go back to the hyperdrive and you realize that with a couple of tweaks, wouldn't even be that hard to get the hyperdrive working.
Can I try that?
Absolutely. Would you like to make an easy mechanics check for me? But
yes, sir.
Let me set up your dice pool. I am going to add 1 black dice just because the interior of the ship, it's been in pretty bad disrepair.
Yeah. If I actually want to do this, I'm gonna have to ask one of you guys to fly the rental. You do realize this, right?
It's do what you want to do. I mean, go ahead and make your
Killing
mechanics
my
check.
fellow
And
team members out of character.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I have a 3
None of
energy
them are
thing.
gonna
I'm
fly
pretty
it.
sure I can figure it out.
Yeah, same.
We could just
Yeah.
tell the other one.
it's true.
Yeah.
I don't know how towing works in Star Wars, so I don't know.
Yeah. Make your mechanics check.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, no problem. So I think like you get in there and you start connecting a couple of things and you kick it and then it just comes to life as well, like everything the day it was made.
Okay, can I go over to the cockpit and maybe start the ship?
Yeah, so you go over and you begin flicking on systems. And now it's a little bit like hard for you, so it's going to take some time for you to like kind of get used to because it's a different style ship than probably what you're used to, especially since it's so old. So yeah, you begin like doing things, and I think Jax, like maybe you're waiting at the bottom of the ramp when the rest of the group comes back in. Because I assume Zian, you go with Mouse and Kin. To
Yeah,
go help out
I'm
Jax.
not stand by myself.
Yeah.
So.
Sounds like a bad idea.
I've got a bad feeling
It's
about
got a
this.
bad feeling about this. Yeah.
Don't
Absolutely.
just.
I
So
have a great feeling about this. What could go wrong?
Yeah. as you guys get to the F it, fire spray, because you all already know what it is.
Yeah.
At the bottom of the ramp, like you guys get there, and then you hear like the and like the bzzz of like the ship coming to life, the Jimsor 4, and you see like the exterior lights they begin to flick on one by one.
Wait, am I there? Or, I thought-
Yeah. I assume you guys went to go meet with Jax because he
Yeah.
asked you to come.
Wait, is blah 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 blah. Zian coming with
Yeah,
us?
Yeah.
I'm going with you.
Oh, Zian, how come you've been following me this entire time?
I trust your wisdom when it comes to salvage.
Oh. Okay.
She hasn't said salvage though.
I mean, I guess I'm not really trying to salvage anything.
Well, you know what you're doing more so than I do.
I guess that's true. I am pretty good at this kind of thing.
I'm merely here to help.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess you can continue to follow us.
I guess it's okay if you have autonomy.
Yeah, I guess it's okay.
She's used to talking to Kin, right?
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I have a question. Do stuff like logs and stuff like that appear on ships like this?
Yeah,
like,
well-
yeah,
we can get to that in a second, but I want to see what this thing with Jax is first.
I
so-
was just asking out of general knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you all, after that conversation, make it back into the hangar, and you see Jax waiting at the bottom of the ramp, and the ship. All of you kind of look over, and maybe you see Dash like in the cockpit of the ship through like the view screens, right? Like moving around and like flicking things on, and you're just like, okay, whatever.
I imagine
Turn the windshield wipers on and off.
if there was,
Yeah.
if there was like a horn on the ship, he'd be like beep beep.
Yeah.
And he'd wave.
Yeah. So y'all, I assume it's a group facepalm, shake your head.
Yeah.
But then you ascend to the ramp. Those of you that want to, obviously, send the ramp into the fire spray, and yeah. So you wanna have Mouse go into the computer system for the ship.
Sure.
I would like to try and have a conversation with Mouse, maybe Kai as well, out of earshot of the others.
Okay.
Mouse and Kai.
Yeah. Kin.
Ken.
Can I?
Oh, Ken. Hey,
Um,
oh, well.
but particularly with Mouse, which I realize will be a difficult feat. um, But
Zian's following us.
No, I'm not going into the fire spray on the.
Yeah, Zian can just hang out. It's not really a huge deal.
He's like my chaperone.
I mean, that's really
Yeah.
Kin, but yeah.
I need an adult.
all
Ken,
right.
Ken is my bodyguard.
All right, so I'll just say, I'll point out the boxes of salvage that I found, and I'll say, Kin, do you think you could help me get these out of here? And Mouse, can you help me with something in the cockpit?
Yeah, I guess.
So Ken waits for Mouse to say affirm. And I'm moving boxes.
You're it's just Mouse is kind of like realizing like what the implication is, like that she's gonna be alone with Jax again.
Yeah.
So
and then she's like, yeah, that's fine. Go ahead, Ken. I'm sure we'll be fine.
all right. So do we go to the cockpit? Right? Is that all good?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ken, do you
Cool.
take that word as okay?
Yeah, I think that word is okay. I start moving boxes. I'm sure that Mouse would tell me if something was amiss.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And also you're a big strong droid. You don't need to roll anything to move these crates of salvage. The others might have had to, but you're it's a basic thing for you.
You're a big, strong droid.
He's a strong,
you like-
independent droid.
Doesn't afraid of
I
anything.
don't need no Mouse.
Is
I don't
Ken-
need no master.
Is Ken like? I wonder if Ken like. Does Ken like complain at all? Like, is he like, I'm relegated to just moving around salvage? I guess.
No, more like if he has to do stuff to help you, like get food or breed or some organic stuff like that. Not really performing basic tasks.
Yeah,
I see. Okay.
maybe he just stands there for a moment before responding, and then goes and does the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So you head up. So you know how to get into the system, but it's through like deciphering the logs. Now, you gotta tell Mouse in this situation, Jax, what exactly he's supposed to pull out, or she's supposed to pull out of this. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna turn to Mouse and say, listen, I'm pretty sure you're not here for salvage. I know I'm not here for salvage. What I'm here is to figure out what happened to this ship. So if you can help me either decipher the logs from this ship or just take the memory core so I can bring it back to my people, then I will help you do anything you need to do on this ship.
So what you're saying is, you know that I know that you know
That I know that you know.
that we're not here for the salvage.
I
Okay.
don't know, but I get that vibe off of you, and I'm down with it. Whatever you need help with, I will help you, but I need your help with this because this task here is beyond me.
Okay. I should mention that there were salvagers here earlier. So if I help you with this, can you help me like find any clues about what happened to them?
I'll be honest with you. I'm not the most intelligent. I'm not dumb, but I'm not a detective. But I will do everything in my power to help you.
Okay. That might involve finding remnant soldiers.
Yeah, I have no love for the remnant.
Okay. Just wanted to let you know that we're basically breaking the law.
I'm used to breaking the law.
Zian, you feel a disturbance in the force for sure.
Wait, am I
what can you
breaking the
describe?
law by taking an old ship?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think that there's that moment of like you're just like sitting maybe at the bottom of the boarding ramp, leaning up against the landing leg or whatever, and you're just like something's not right. Like, is it warm in here? Is it just me? I don't. Yeah, there's just something going on there.
All right. So he wants me to retrieve these logs?
Yeah,
so either retrieve the logs, or if you can't do that, extract the actual, for lack of a better word, hard drives, so I can bring the hard drives to people who can definitely retrieve the logs, and it's like on them.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that's going to be an average check. But since the age of the systems, I'm going to add that black dice. But do you have anything that helps with computer checks?
Well, I think if given the option of just removing the hard drive or
getting
you know,
logs.
programming it,
Mhm.
like I think I would remove the hard drive because that would
Okay.
be easier for me.
And yeah, I
That's
think
my
that would
more
involve-
preferable choice as well.
Yeah,
I think
and
that would involve mechanics rather than
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. If you want to do mechanics, I actually, as well, I think that it doesn't really matter the age of the system if you just want to like extract the hard drive.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty easy. So I'll actually get rid of that black dice for you. Just a average mechanics check if you want.
Sweet. I'm doing it.
Oh,
I got a success with a threat.
yeah. So take one strain for this.
Cool.
But yeah, you actually get 3 successes, which is significant. So I think that you get the hard drive out, and I think that with an additional success there, you find that there is also some, like, maybe you're going through and you find there's like some storage disks as well that you're able to hand over. So you get some additional information or additional knowledge or
Potential
logs.
of information.
Yeah, potential of information on top of what just the regular mechanics was.
So I'm like taking stuff out and I'm just handing it to Jax, and all of a sudden like there's just stuff piling up.
Yeah.
In Jax's arms.
Yeah, because again, it's the hard drives are not like what we understand hard drives to be today, right? It's probably like
they're huge. They're like 70s hard drives.
Right. It's probably like a 2-handled metal case that is like removed, and then like you're holding that as well as like these floppy disks basically that are all stacked up. So yeah, you have all that now, Jax. Congratulations.
Cool. Should I add encumbrance to myself if I'm going to put that in my bag or something?
Nah, it's not. It's not that big a deal.
Cool. All right, cool. I turn to Mouse and I say, like, thank you. This means a lot to me. Like, what do you need?
Yeah. So basically, I guess Mouse just kind of relays her story to Jax now. Like, she kind of comes clean a little bit. So she's kind of like, yeah, so I was on the ship before. Well, I wasn't on it, but Remnant soldiers came and sacked the ship that I was on. And I barely managed to escape thanks to my mentor, who I forgot the name of for some reason because I'm bad at remembering that stuff. Help! Where's my character sheet? What's his name? It started with a V.
Vlom?
Vlom, yeah. My mentor Vlom, he ferried me away on a escape pod, and that's how I, came to meet you guys. But yeah, so I mean, I'm looking for any sign that he's alive for one, and that where he could have gotten to, like where the Remnant ship went, or where my ship went.
All right, well, let's see what we can find.
Yeah, let's do it. I don't know where to start. I have schematics of the ship.
Yeah, so there's a couple of interesting locations. Obviously, I referenced that damage to the ship in that other area. I think that I'll give you more information just to lead you on the hint train a little bit harder. The silhouette of the damage, or like the damaged area, looks remarkably like the ship you were on.
Oh, yeah. Then
that was the point of that hint.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I was vague about it on purpose.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's probably in this section over here. So if you want to help me with that, I don't know if there's anybody hanging around or anything like that, but I think having somebody with a blaster might be helpful.
Whatever you need, I'm in your debt.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So as we exit the thing, and I'm assuming some of the crates are on the deck.
Yeah.
Can I look at Dash, who's in the cockpit playing around, and be like, are you sure that's the one we want to take?
Can I hear him?
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah,
assume
we
he
have comms.
com links you. Or comlink, that's what it's called in this game.
I mean, I'm gonna check unless it's like it has this secret about it. I guess.
The other
Yes.
one looks better. So me being me, I'm just gonna say the other one looks better armed.
Which one is he talking about?
The scout ship.
Yeah, the scout ship here.
Well, there's two that you identified, and one of them looks like it has a gun on the top, and Jax likes the gun on the top.
Yeah, no, this one is definitely better if you were to get into a skirmish, for sure. This one has much more cargo space.
I mean, I'm
So it
assuming
depends on how much
that I
food you
know.
get from the ship.
I assume I know nothing about these ships,
Yeah.
other than one has a gun on it and one doesn't, because
Yeah,
he did the check, he knew them, but like I'm assuming he didn't stand there and be like, well, this is the Soros Sub 58 with a
Right, yeah,
passenger, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm purely basing this on Jax is the kind of guy who's been through some things, and he always thinks having something with a bit more and
Firepower.
survivability. is-
DM, what's the firepower on this?
So each have armaments. Whether or not they work is another story. But each of them certainly do have armaments. But he is right. This one actually is a little more well armed than the other one. I can
Is
pull up
one
the actual-
faster or better at maneuverability or something like that?
Again, that's all the scout ship. This one here, in particular.
I'm gonna end up taking the scout ship, aren't I?
I mean, that's
That's
I guess
how
it
it is.
depends on how
He's
much.
right. Guns and speed
fine.
and maneuverability.
I mean-
think.
I mean, we could always try and take both.
Come on, I think the other one. I think the cargo ship has more personality. Like it's
Yeah.
not always about guns, you guys.
yeah.
Also, we have a rental.
Actually, he answers. You know what? Let me worry about it. Let me just check if this actually doesn't have anything connected with this hut. I mean, it's like maybe one of his collector ship. Who knows? Maybe he stole it off some or correctly.
Yeah, so that's the other thing is like whether or not these ships have heat on them, right? Like
exactly. I mean, we
don't-
don't know
don't be
what
surprised if-
kind of connection that scouter ship has anything to do with
Right.
Remnant or
Don't-
Commonwealth.
don't be surprised if all of a sudden you guys surprisingly have obligation by taking one of these ships. Don't be shocked. But I think I want to talk to Kin real quick. So Kin, as you're moving these crates around, you set one down, and I think that like tumbling out of the top of the crate, like it was hidden under some things, and when it shifted, it tumbles out of the crate. It kind of rolls and settles, and you see what appears to be the head of a 3PO droid. Just kind of rolls to a stop.
Oh.
So Kin is walking over and picking it up, having a Shakespearean moment. Looking at the head.
Yeah, I want to know what goes through Kin's mind when you see this. It's just the head portion, right? Like there's no body. In fact, even if you like look through everything else, it doesn't appear to be a body anywhere.
All right. So basically, he looks to see just from the wires and damage of the head and see how intact it is.
It looks pretty
basically-
damaged. It looks pretty damaged, but not irreparably so.
Yeah. So he wants to take that with him and show Mouse, and maybe they will have a project later.
Yeah, so I think that maybe as Jax, as you and Mouse are descending the boarding ramp. And by the way, Zian, you witness this too. There's probably a scene where like Kin walks over and like kind of cradles the droid head into his hands, right, and like stares at it for a moment.
Holds it up in one hand and looks at
To be
it.
or not to be.
Right.
To build or not to build?
Yeah, but I
I'm
think
like,
Zian, your insight into this scenario, you can see that like that means something, right? Like it's different than just a like he didn't just toss it back in the box, right?
Right.
So you at least have some insight into that scenario, and I think that you're close enough that when Mouse descends, can you approach Mouse?
Yeah. And I present the head almost as a trophy. Will this work? Will this work for what we have been working on?
Wow, is that a C3PO unit ahead?
Yeah.
And I excitedly take it from him.
I think it's just 3PO. I think the C is just a nope.
Oh,
Is-
is that a
is-
3PO head?
Yeah.
I
No.
guess.
Wait. How are the
Course.
how are the protocol droids classified again?
They're called 3POs.
Yeah.
Okay, so it could be
Is it a 3PO head? I
G3PO.
guess?
Yeah, it's
Is that a protocol droid head?
Yeah, it's a
Probably.
protocol droid, as we all understand C-3PO's head
Yeah.
looks like. That's what it looks like.
Okay.
Is it
Yeah.
gold or
Is that a protocol head? Wow, I haven't seen one of these intact before. And I kind of like turn it over and look at it, and I'm like, I think I could probably make this work for you, Ken. I can't do it right now though. We'll have to wait till we're settled a little bit, but I think keep it around.
Yeah, Ken does a little jump and puts it, attaches it to his. I'm not sure what I have. Do I have anything? Do I put it in anything, or let's see. I actually have a greatcoat, so maybe I can just attach it to
Yeah,
side,
you have like a carbiner or something that you can just like attach the head to. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, so we see that occur. But I do want Dash. I want you to make me a check here.
Okay.
And I think I want it to be. Oh, why don't we just go with a perception check? It's gonna be easy.
I'm kind of good with that.
It's gonna be easy, and it's not gonna have any modifiers behind it. But I do want to see if it's success here because it's gonna be an interesting twist to the story here.
Come on, interesting storytelling.
Oh.
Oh, I just
Oh.
have an advantage.
You whiffed it.
Good.
I'm,
So you can
You
clear
perceive nothing.
you can clear a strain. You're sitting happily in the cockpit of a ship, and you're getting a feel for it, and you're happy. So you can clear a strain. But for everyone else, the lights inside of the hangar bay they bzz, 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 they flicker.
I told you I had
Oh.
a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, and it's that moment where you all kind of like look up and look around, like, what was that? That was weird. And then I think that all of you feel there's like a slight shift. Like almost, you feel like kind of your stomach drops out, like if you were in an airplane and you were flying or descending or what have you.
oh no.
And then everything settles back down and nothing happens. The lights return to normal and.
Hey, I
looked
think
at
Mouse
Mouse.
is kind of used to stuff like this happening on derelict ships.
Yeah.
I look to Mouse, and because Mouse doesn't seem too freaked out, I kind of like go, all right, fuck it.
Okay, so can I do that one log, or do they have to do something else? I mean, technically, I'm not looking for something specific, but if I need to code break, I guess I'll.
Yeah, no, I think this ship doesn't have any security features. You can just get into the logs here.
Okay,
but
what kind
what's-
of logs are there?
I want to know what everybody else is feeling are about this incident that occurred, though. Ken, I assume maybe the only reason you notice, Ken, is probably because like your actuators like spin up and whir up in different areas. And you're like, oh,
Yeah.
that's weird. That's weird.
my stabilizers or whatever, and it just fixes it for me. I've been with Mouse before on salvaging, so I know that this is to be expected.
What about
Could
you?
have saved everyone. It turns out.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Yeah. When when it first happens, I take out my gun, I scan around, I'm a bit nervous, but then seeing that Mouse is like chill about it and obviously has a lot of salvage experience, I just say, all right,
Okay, cool.
I guess this is a thing.
And
I
Zian?
take I kind of take a cue from Mouse. If she seems okay, I'm okay. But I'm definitely making sure that I can see something of roughly silhouette 0 to throw in case shit gets real.
Yeah. I actually love how Mouse, of all people in this party, is like the stable center right now.
Yeah.
It's probably
If we weren't on the ship, she would be a wreck. Like,
right.
this
Yeah.
this is like Mouse's playground, and
Yeah.
like if we're not in the playground, like
Absolutely.
yeah, she wouldn't be as confident.
Cool. So Dash, for you get into the logs of the ship, and there's nothing too much of note. But what you do find, interestingly enough, is this ship does not appear to have an owner. Like, if you look up the title of the ship or the designation of the ship, nobody is on record as owning it. It appears to be like a blank slate. Which would be simple enough for someone of you guys' quality. If you were to take the ship and register it, it would be yours.
Actually, they bring it up, so I'm gonna actually keep that a note, and I'm gonna bring it up. You know, you might say far apart, but this is an unwritten list. We can take it and say it's ours and not feel bad about it. So technically, it's like not taking free candy. Mostly directed to Jax.
Are you saying that to all of us?
I bring it up at the con, saying that this ship is actually a blank slate, as in, if I take it and register it, if we take it, it's going to be our ship. We're not going to have any repercussion from this. Who knows which scout ship? Maybe it's a remnant, and they'll flag us for owning a military-grade vehicle, and possibly put us under custody.
Salvager rule. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go first.
Oh, I was just gonna make a joke. Salvager rule number 2 says that anything that's not being used is free to take.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
I'm gonna look over to Dash. I'm gonna make eye contact through the cockpit, and I'm just gonna say, check the one with the gun.
So Kim will say, you do know that unregistered ships are illegal.
So you do know I can still register in the Commonwealth and not get fined. I think that's a rule. I've been in the fleet. I know my Commonwealth legislations.
Check
okay.
the one with the gun.
It's probably remnant, and I'll probably get fined for it.
So yeah, just
check it, not steal it. Check it.
Just
okay,
to clarify,
fine.
Jax, it has actually 2 weapons as opposed to this one, which has 1 weapon. You see?
2 guns. Check the one with 2 guns. What are you doing, man? Check the one with more guns. No, I'm just
Jax. We need to get moving.
Yeah, let's do that.
Hey Ken, I'm gonna go check out that crash area. Do you want to come?
Yes.
Or did you want to find more droid parts? I think there might be some more.
Actually, which one has 2 guns? The scout ship or my ship?
The
scout ship.
Fucking hell. Okay, geez. Check it.
All right. Yeah. So the group of you head off in that direction. Those of you that are going, Jackson.
Well, Jax goes to
Mouse.
Jax. Oh, Dash goes to check the scout ship.
Yeah. So you go to do the same procedure basically on the scout ship.
I don't know if Ken wants to come. If it's up to Ken, but like I gave Ken autonomy on this one.
No,
Yeah.
Ken is following.
Okay.
All
right.
Or going in front.
What about you, Zian?
How many of you are going?
All of them except for Dash.
I'm gonna stay with Dash. You know,
Okay.
make sure we're not leaving somebody alone.
Yeah. That
I mean,
seems
if anybody's gonna be left alone, it's Dash.
that seems wise.
Hey. I'm the normal guy. Why leave me? Well, then again, I can hop in the scout ship and just shoot up some fools.
Yeah, so Dash and Zian remain behind. Dash going to work on the scout ship to see what exactly is going on. Zian remaining for moral, but perhaps lookout support just in case.
Yep.
And we see Jax and Kin and Mouse begin to head over into the schematic area, and we get the little like image of like the comm link, and it shows like your position is just like a blinking dot, and then like the hallways, and you're navigating the hallways using it kind of like a compass to navigate to this crash site.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that as you guys enter in, again, like I said, it appears that from the schematics that you have and like the updated log that it does of the schematics every so often, and like damage reports basically is also what you found. That's how you know that there's like a piece of like a damaged area. It's showing that there's atmosphere in here, and everything's fine. You can walk in, no problem. But it also shows probably like an object that is roughly the size and shape and classification of the salvage ship you were on, which I don't think we ever named.
I don't think it has a name.
Probably doesn't, to be fair. And it's like lodged in this portion of like one of the cargo holds, probably, of the larger derelict ship. And so you enter in, and the door opens. You get the door open in the meaningful ways that you guys know how to open them. And you walk over, and you begin, like, you see this image of there's the cargo bay, and like everything looks fine, but then there's a bunch of rubble kind of strewn across and lodged almost as if it had crashed through the outer hull of the ship. Is something that is easily recognizable to you, Mouse and Kin. It is indeed the salvager ship that you were once on. It's a little out of place, but you also don't know what happened after you were ejected, right?
Yeah.
So there's some stories here, and so we see the group of you begin moving towards that, and I think that what's your procedure there? How do you go about kind of searching the area?
Okay, so I'll turn to Mouse and I'll just say, "This the ship you're telling me about?"
Yeah. I don't think Mouse actually answers. I think Mouse just like starts running towards the ship.
Yeah.
Like,
Kid
she's-
follows immediately after.
Yeah, Jax will do the same thing.
Okay. So you all run up to the ship, and you scrambling up the like the
scrambling up
rubble.
side.
Yeah, and
trying
the
to
rubble,
find
and
an
like
opening.
trying to find an opening, and I think you see that the whole front of the ship is smashed in from careening here, and there's some gaps and stuff that you can like slip down into to get inside the interior of the ship, and I assume that you do, and everyone follows suit.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think immediately as you walk in, we see that there are well, for lack of a better term, there's some carnage inside. Obviously, this has not just been left to sit. It is an active like crash site, and so nothing is where it should be. You guys are consistent of like climbing over everything. Actually,
Sparking wires.
yeah, I actually want. Can the three of you make me? I'm gonna say it's an easy, but with a black dice survival check. Can the three of you make me survival checks, please?
Yeah, sure.
Oh.
Do you want survival or athletics?
It's not particularly hard to move around, but it's harder to move around safely.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Go for it.
Pikachu.
Okay.
For fuck's sake.
So,
I don't survive.
yeah, right, yeah, exactly. So for those of you that failed, you scrape up your leg, or maybe some wires that are live, like you grab onto to pull yourself forward, and they kind of shock you. Each of you take one wound. Not too bad. You, Mouse, take a strain, however, instead of the wound. So it's just like, probably the sight of seeing the ship and like trying to crawl as fast as possible is like you're sweating, and it's kind of like wearing on you. Your heart's racing, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm
Terrified of what you
having
might
a-
find, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And also, like, I guess it doesn't bother me to like squeeze into tight spaces and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's probably why it doesn't
Absolutely.
get me all wounded. The other two are bigger.
Yeah, and they're probably trying to keep up with you too, right? Like you're tiny and moving through really fast, and they're having to move through faster than is safe for them, which causes
I'll
the
actually
wound to each of them.
say to Mouse and be like, hey, like we're here. We're not gonna go anywhere until we find the answers you're looking for. Like, take a breath. Let's be careful.
But I mean, she just keeps going.
Yeah, so eventually you get back towards the rear of the ship, and as you enter, you kind of like drop in from the ceiling, probably into like the crew quarters. And you're far enough back in the ship now that it's less damaged. Things like tables are still ripped up from their bolted down positions because of the impact. But as far as structural damage goes, it's not quite as much.
Now, have I found any bodies?
So I think that initially when you guys enter through the cockpit area, you did probably see like what remained of a figure. But it was clearly like seated in the pilot seat, and you probably knew the pilot of the ship, or at least had seen him.
Yeah, so like I guess like part of the reason for the terror is like Mouse didn't really like, she pretended not to care about these people, but like she grew up with them. Like,
Right.
I mean, like none of them really had like a big effect on her life as much as Vlam did, but like they were still more or less her family.
Right, absolutely.
So
I think that as you get back to the crew quarters, you begin like heading off towards Vlam's quarters, right? Like that would be the reasonable place to go.
yeah.
And as you get there, you're able to like squeeze in through the door. You know, it's probably like one side is open, the other side is like crushed inwards or something. You're able to squeeze through the door, and I think that the first thing that you see when you squeeze in is the room appears to be ransacked. Like it looks like there was like drawers are dumped out on the floor, and you know, things are like the mattress for the bed is like flipped up. And it doesn't look consistent with a crash. It almost looks like, you know, somebody entered into this area and upended the room.
Yeah.
And I think that as you begin searching through, and I don't think you need a roll for this, but as you begin searching through, you find almost none of the personal articles that you associate Vlam with. It's almost as if they've all been removed from the room.
So I mean, at this point, like Mouse would be frantic. She'd be like upending stuff herself to see if she can find anything.
Right. Yeah, and so I think that the one thing that you do find is you find a single left boot that you recognize immediately as being Vlam's.
She like holds it, like kind of like Ken was holding that head. She's just kind of like holding that boot, like, and she's looking at it, and she just kind of like sinks to her knees, like she's like just completely filled with dread at this point.
Yeah,
she can't find anything. She's frantic. She's trying her hardest to like make this work.
I think that I also probably in this instance, because it's so impactful for you, can you make me a discipline check? And I think it's going to be hard. I think it's going to be a hard discipline check here.
I can certainly do that.
Yeah.
Wow. No.
So I would say that, and you play this how you like, failing a discipline check, you are under the effects of, you know, extreme remorse or whatever emotional aspects you're feeling here, right?
Yeah.
You don't get any additional strain from it via the threat, but I think that I would suggest you role playing in a way that makes you somewhat unusable for a little while.
Yeah. So like I said, she's filled with dread. She's feeling guilty. Like I don't think she's like bursting out crying or anything. She's just like very quietly like holding this boot to her chest, and she's like just kind of like shaking, you know. I don't imagine that Ken and Jax had gotten into the room yet, but when they like actually like get through the door.
Yeah.
Like they see like just Mouse with her back to them, like just kind of like shaking, holding this boot, just kind of like staring into nothingness.
Yeah, just like collapsed
Yeah.
on the ground. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kid walks over and puts an arm on her shoulder.
He's gone, Ken.
I'm gonna start like rummaging through, not necessarily through the room, not necessarily to find anything, but more to like try and give them their space.
Yeah, you this is a personal moment. You like step outside and go rummaging through other things. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I think that as that happens, I want to go back to the hangar. So Dash, you're in like trying like messing with the hyperdrive this time, and we'll make that roll in a second. But Zian, are you on the ship, or are you like doing the thing where you're like standing at the loading ramp again?
I'm downstairs keeping an eye out for something. I'm not very comfortable with this entire situation. I'm not one for space as much, so I'm a little kind of on edge.
Yeah.
With the bad feeling I felt earlier.
Yeah. So
I'm keeping an eye out.
So the door from the place where you guys like landed and went into, you hear it like psh, like open, and you turn, perhaps to greet your friends upon their return. And marching through the door are not your friends.
What is it?
There appear to be you would recognize them. You would recognize them. They're pretty obvious. It's a group of 4, or actually it's technically the first people you see that walk through the door is a group of 4 individuals, and they appear to be remnant Imperial Navy troopers.
I fucking knew it.
And the naval troopers are not like, they're not stormtroopers, first of all, just FYI. It's not
Okay.
like that. They have like pistols at their sides holstered. They probably come in with like flashlights or
Do they have
like glow
big
sticks.
goofy helmets?
They don't have the big goofy helmets. No, those were phased out because they impeded
They were
vision.
goofy.
But yeah, they're wearing like combat suits, and you can see that they're armed. And the 4 of them kind of enter, and maybe you like duck behind like the loading leg, right?
Yeah.
And behind them, you see an Imperial naval officer or a remnant naval officer, kind of like with his hands clasped behind his back, come walking through and like observing the entering. And then you see 4 more Imperial troopers.
Oh boy.
Flank
I
him.
am so fucking dead. I am so fucking dead.
And as you see that occur, it's a great place to end our session for the day.
No.
Oh yeah.
Why you do this?
Oh my god, I love it.
I don't want to stop.
So, now, and we're ending a few minutes early, but I feel like it's a good place to end on that particular scene.
No.
That is a good scene.
Just to keep you all excited for next week. But now I want to talk a little bit about after game stuff. So as I've told you all, experience gain is going to be probably slightly lower than typical because I don't want people to get out of control so early on. But seeing as this is the first session, I think it is important to reward all of you for your amazing roleplay. So this will be slightly more than what you probably usually get. So everybody go ahead and mark 15 additional experience for playing today's session. So add that both to your total and to your available. Now here's how I like to do it, and I know none of you guys have played in any of my games before, so
Is that something we do
throughout
in
the week.
Roll20?
Yes, in Roll20, if you go to the you can also do it in your character sheet. I know some of you use the Ogdude's character sheet. But I do want it recorded in Roll20 because it's very easy for me to just see it then. For me to like go into your sheet and be like, oh,
Yeah,
okay,
so
yes,
where
yeah,
in
yeah,
Roll20 do I do that?
So if you go to your character info, under your character sheet, you go to character info. There should be total XP and available XP. Just add 15 to both those numbers. So throughout the week, you guys, if you want to buy anything, purchase anything, totally go ahead. That's all on you. But remember what you do, because when we start our session next week, I'm going to ask everyone, what did you spend with your experience? I do this for a couple of reasons. One, it helps me know what the heck you're spending it on without having to review the character sheets every week. And two, it helps you and the rest of the party know what everybody's capable of, so that we can help each other out. So
That's smart.
throughout the week, purchase your stuff on your own. Maybe make a note of it so that when we start up next week, we'll go ahead and go through what everybody got, and everybody can tell us all the cool things that they can do now. Secondly, in addition to experience, there's one thing I didn't do this session that I will begin doing from now on. And I specifically didn't do it for the first session because I wanted everybody to kind of get a feel for it. But I'm going to start rolling for obligation. Now, I've actually decided that I'm not going to roll it in front of you guys. Because I want it to be a surprise.
Okay.
So how next session will start off, if obligation does appear for any of the characters, I will start off the session by saying what may or may not be affecting you.
Okay.
So we can all move along.
Okay.
Sense? Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Finally, last but certainly not least, things progressed a little bit slower than I anticipated. So I still have some very directed session stuff for next week. But after that, I want you guys to start thinking about what you want to do. What's going to be the progression of our crew? Because
I know what I'm gonna do. Strangle Mulan.
I am excited, as well as I hope you all are excited to progress with this and see what happens.
I'm hoping this will help us. The directed stuff will help us like choose directions, like
Yeah.
cast off a bunch of aspersions, like different paths.
So here's what I'm gonna do. I know it's really late for at least two of you, so I don't want to keep you too long. But I'm going to do my outro. Can you guys hang out for like 2 minutes? That's all I need.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Of course.
Cool. Thank you guys. It's been a pleasure. Thank you all for being here. I'm really excited. This went way better than I was dreading because I always stress out really hard about my games. So
Don't
I'm
worry.
glad that you put so much work into it.
I
No, it's
did.
awesome
That
so
doesn't.
far.
It doesn't matter how much work I put into it. I always stress about it. On
mean,
the day of.
That's good.
Yeah.
Or bad.
Yeah.
I don't know
So,
yet. I have to figure it out.
We'll figure it out, huh? So I will talk to you guys in just a moment. Stand by. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. It's been amazing. It's been incredible. It's been fun. I hope you all enjoyed yourself. This is the end of the first session of Fractured Orders. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them out in chat, to put them on the comments, any of that stuff. Thank you all for being here. Oh my god, it's been so much fun. I can't wait to see what they do next time. So from all of us to you, may you always be triumphant and never fall into despair. And as always, from us in the dungeon, try not to die. See you guys next time.